viewers at home, once again you are welcome to Insight with Tola on this channel. And today I have with me Engineer Oladeji, Boyinbode, a fellow of the Nigerian Secretariat of Engineers. Sir, can you please introduce yourself?
I am Engineer Oladeji Boyinbode, Director of Physical Planning, Federal University of Technology Akure.
Then can you give us a summary of your career to date? How you started, where you started from, where you are?
By the grace of God, I've had a very successful career as an engineer. I had my NYC in Lagos State, 1994, and since then I've been involved in active engineering practice, particularly in the field of civil engineering and structures. Presently, as Director of Physical Planning, here we do a lot of project management at the university. So we thank God for the journey so far.
So what can you say inspired you to study civil engineering and eventually structures?
It's my inspiration to be linked to what my late father used to say when I was in primary school. He would say, if this boy were to be serious, I would have loved him to be a civil engineer. Because my father was working with two Jolly brothers then, who was a major contractor to the state government. And my father called how the engineers, the supervising engineers then, were so much respected and they had honor, and they wanted me to be somebody like that. I want to thank God that before my father passed on to glory, I was already a registered civil engineer and I've practiced for some years, so I was very happy that his dream concerning me came to pass. So I want to appreciate God because I would love to say that my father was my guardian angel because of choosing the profession of a civil engineer where I find myself.
Then in the course of your career, you have had several memorable projects or achieved your career. Any of them?
Yes. In the course of my career, I've worked in Lagos State. I worked with HFP. So I was one of the structural engineers immediately after my youth service. So I was involved in the design and development of the VGC, Victoria Garden City, in Lekki area. So I was working in that project site with HFP Engineering Nigeria Limited. And thereafter, I joined a consultancy firm in Akwa Ibom, where we were rendering consultancy services on community projects for example, Nigeria, where we were handling projects in all community areas, both in Akwa Ibom State and some other neighboring states, but most of the projects were in Akwa Ibom State. So thereafter, 2004, I joined the Federal University of Technology Akure. I've been involved in structural development of the university. I've also had many private projects that I carried out on my own. Part of those projects were the roofing of the State Secretariat in those states, including the governor's office. Those buildings there were, yes, at Alabaka, they were all with concrete roof. So they came to a time that the last time this computer expired. So we have a lot of leakages. So we have to convert and move to long span roofing covering. So up to today, that was since in 2009. So projects are still standing. Apart from that, I've been involved in design of structures like Elizade, University School of Engineering. I do the design supervision. It's an academic structure, apart from other public jobs. So all of these projects have really impacted my career. So happy for the journey so far.
Then what significant challenge will you see in the course of your career that shaped you?
By the grace of God, I've had a successful career. The only one I can remember was while working here as staff, I was due for promotion to the position of deputy director. I had to wait for 9 years as a chief engineer, and because it was based on appointment, so advertisement had to be placed on national newspaper. So the university management did not conduct the interview, and I have to wait for my time. But I want to thank the Lord that today I'm the director of the school plan in the same department.
Congrats, sir. Yes, sir. If I may ask, during the course of your career, you definitely have complex situations. What was your approach to solving these complex situations?
Yes, engineering profession is a very interesting profession, and as you practice, you face different type of situations and challenging projects. So for each time I was faced with such situations, I always get inspiration from God. So I was
What is inspiration?
Yes, I will ask God for divine wisdom, for inspiration, and this has worked for me over the years. I can still recall where Agape Christian Ministry, they are headquartered in Akure, where they handle the projects, they got stopped, and then many engineers have been invited to help them resolve the roof of that headquarters, because the shape of the headquarters is in form of cross. So the center of the cross was about 50-meter span, and there was nowhere to place column support apart from the center. And the bishop,
What's the cross at the center?
yes, the
What's
bishop,
the altar?
the bishop said she wanted the altar at the center. So I remember then I first invited a company from Modi who had handled a similar project here for us in FUTA, where they use alloy long span steel trusses. So they handled a project like that for us. But when they got to the project, they took all their measurements and went back to Warri, carried out their design. They had an engineer that they have trained abroad to handle such complex roofing. But at the end of the day, they came with a design that there must be a column at the center of that hall. So, but the bishop insisted that
does not want the column.
yeah, doesn't want the column. He referred to the Winner Chapel headquarters at Porta. The church is still bigger than his own, and the center, at the center where they have the altar, there was no column. So this really challenging. So the company, the firm, they decided to consult with their partners in South Africa. They took this design there that they should help them see how they can avoid color at the center. And their partners also carried out their own evaluation and design, and also confirmed that the color must be at the center of that auditorium. So the bishop insisted that he doesn't want to come. So I took up the challenge. He said they should give me some time. So I went to pray, and God gave me inspiration, and I came up with an original design. Up to today, I've never been to Winner Chapel, headquarters, I've never been there. But I was aware that as at then, it was the largest auditorium in the world. I was also inspired that there were Nigerians that handled the structural design supervision. So I call upon God. I will wake up in the night, pray, and apply my hands on some, some options. But God gave me a divine solution. And when I asked the architect to do the model for the room design based on the idea I came up with, I said, yeah, this thing can work. I want to thank God that it really worked, and today the auditorium is there. Yes, and I've been involved in other projects like that are challenging. God gave me inspiration to resolve those problems.
So, what are the key skills you think that? What key skills do you think that upcoming engineers should learn to make them successful in the field of civil structural engineering?
Yes, as an engineer, you have to attend trainings, workshops, but you meet people there, and some people who are more experienced, they can share their experience with you. You can ask questions, and it's a way to connect with other people. So because you need to interact with fellow professionals. And apart from that, you need to be diligent, you need to be constantly involved, in engineering work. That's why your skills will be sharpened. You have more experience. So it's very important that as an engineer, you have to learn and also improve. Then you, from time to time also, you read books, some literatures, update your knowledge, in terms of materials, in terms of new skills, analysis, that this will help you to be up to date in your profession.
Okay. They have years at home. That has been engineer Boyinbode, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Sir, you believe that in engineering it is not a problem, it's just challenges that we have. Yes. And these challenges at times to the outside world it looks like a failure. Definitely in your course of career, as you were going up the ladder, there will be some that looks like to the outsiders it might look like failure, but eventually it turned out to be successful. Apart from the Agape scenario, do you have any other incident that you can share with the viewers at home?
Yeah, generally, as an engineer, you must ensure that you have safety factors in your designs. So, apart from that, you must be involved in the supervision. It's not enough for you to do a design, but during the implementation of the projects, you need to ensure that the specifications are followed. So if they are followed, they are not likely to have any failure in your projects. Like the Agape projects, I didn't start the projects. A set of people started it when they were stopped. Because the halls, there are 4 halls that have been built already. So but the connecting roof at the center, yes.
That's so a major challenge.
That's the challenge they have. So they invited engineers from the background, from other locations, from Para states, to help them solve it, but they backed out. So God helped me to resolve the problem they had. So, and there are other challenging situations that no one has been involved in resolving. But I want to say, for an engineer, you need to uphold the integrity of the profession. You need to uphold it and ensure that you don't have project failures. Even when you face challenges, you can, because of implementation of a project, you can advise some other engineers to look at it, you know.
That's collaboration.
Yes. So you can advise your fellow colleagues. I have social challenges.
And we look at this together.
So with that, you always have a successful project. Yes. But in Nigeria, as you know, in Nigeria as a country, you see some failed projects. There are so many factors. When you talk of quackery,
Yes.
you know, maybe a building project or a road project, you discover that people supervise it. At that particular project, they are not professionals. So because if it's a building, maybe the owner of that building doesn't want to engage a professional, don't get somebody who has a faint idea about building construction.
And experience brilliance.
So I've seen quite some projects like that, you know, where they just get a technician and a welder, a bricklayer. They begin to massive project. Yes.
Required.
There was a particular one that was not designed. It was a welder and the technician architects that determine the reinforcements. So when the project had problem, you know, they invited us to go and look at it. In fact, they said that the owner of the building said that they were using too much concrete material for the first floor slab. They now reduced the thickness. And the slab began to vibrate.
Without load.
So in Nigeria, I think there's a need for advocacy to educate the citizens about the risk of engaging
Quackery.
yes, quacks in your projects. So, and when you talk of government projects too, you talk of corruption. Yes, because all of those things affect quality of the project. Yes, it affects it. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. Then I want you to see me as, if you look at me as a student and as an upcoming professional, what would be your advice to me?
Yes.
If I want to study civil engineering, I'm aspiring to study civil engineering, and I'm already in it. What would be your advice to me?
Yes, if you intend to study civil engineering as a secondary school student, you have to ensure that you are diligent and the subjects that are key to engineering profession generally, that of mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, geography. So there are 5 subjects. So you must ensure that you are serious with them. Besides that, if you are an undergraduate student, you have to be up and doing and make sure that you focus on your studies. Avoid the classes. In the office here, I have about 15 IT students in the directorate who are trying to gain more experience. So they send them to sites and watch how things are done. So besides that, there are some senior engineers that supervise the activities. So once in a while I interact with them because by the grace of God, this same FUTA, when I was a young man, I had my ITA.
Okay.
Yes.
Sometime ago.
Yes, I had my ITA. So today the director of physical planning. So the same institution. So, thank you.
The other question is, I would like to ask you something that generally in every profession we have different misconceptions. Are there any in civil engineering? And if there are, can you please let us know what it is?
Yes, when you talk of misconception, some Nigerians, they feel they don't really need the service of professionals in their projects, particularly engineers. They allow the bricklayer to handle engineering projects because they are not educated. So I believe that our people need to be enlightened on the benefit of allowing professionals to handle projects. So it's not really limited, work is not really limited to civil engineering, architecture, just mention it. So it is very important that people are not enlightened so that they don't have a misconception, so they are just wasting money by engaging unprofessional people to handle projects. But at the end of the day, the project may not serve them properly, the functionality.
Definitely.
So then when you talk of the safety of the project, yes. So some buildings you get there, you see cracks, and the person continue to mend and mend. So at times the risk of building collapse. So which is it's a major challenge in Nigeria. So those are part of the implication of not doing the right thing by engaging professionals who will check even the materials being used for the construction. Yes. So then we talk about right from the design, because depending on the bearing capacity of the soil. So all of those details are required to have a successful and safe and functional project.
So, sir, what are the regulatory bodies doing to checkmate this happenings around us?
Yes, on paper we have regulatory bodies. For this, we have
on paper.
Yes, I can say on paper.
Okay, can you explain this, please, sir?
Because Nigeria Standard Organization,
FNSE.
yes, they are supposed to check the materials that are being used or items that are even imported into the country.
Yeah.
Then you have the professional bodies who are supposed to also carry out monitoring activities, but they need the support of the federal government. Well, at a point, I was involved in a current inspection, but for years we were using our private vehicles to move around the town. Yes, to move around the town to
check on projects.
Yeah, to check what is happening on projects. But like the federal government needs to support the professional body so that their monitoring activities can be enhanced and so that they can perform their duties. Because all of these services is to the country.
Yes.
Because there are some projects that could have been identified that okay, this project is likely to collapse, and maybe the project will have been sealed off if professionals have gone out under their professional bodies, yes, to regulatory bodies like CORE, so in order to check. For those years, there was no remuneration. Yes, it was free service. You go with your vehicle, you spend your time, on those projects, you get there, some people you meet at the site, they are not professionals. So what we used to do is to make corrections. This your reinforcement. It's not adequate. Go and meet a qualified engineer to do the design for you.
And most of them, do they even have engineers on site?
A lot of them don't have engineers on site. So, what is the arrangement that God has put in place to regulate all of these things? So that's why I say it's on paper. But there is no funding that supports monitoring and regulatory activities in most when top of built environments. So that's why everybody just do whatever they like. Because they know there is no penalty, and unfortunately approval are being given by the state authority in terms of when they just submit this hand to them. I don't think they even check. So they just give approval like that. So it's very important that government has to do more in terms of regulation. Like in Lagos State, there is a building collapse agency. Guide is a private sector organization, that they go around and check buildings, and they now report to the state authorities. So there is that collaboration between the professionals and the Lagos State government. So I want to believe that each state will emulate this, but they need the support of the government in terms of funding to be more effective, and to play their role in the national development, and so that the country will avoid the embarrassment of building collapse.
Thank you. Sir, if I may ask you again, what has been your secret for staying relevant in civil engineering as a professional? What has been your secret?
As a professional, number one, I would say that it is God. I've been my backbone.
Are you trying to be humble? Or hard work?
Yes.
Did you not put in the work?
Yes. God, number one, God that gave you the grace to even to have the strength to do the work. So the diligence, yes. So I close very late, and people are sitting some doors work. That was part of me while I was a student. I used to read in the night. So
every engineer must read at night. If you don't read, you will succeed.
So diligence, then you must ensure that you keep to the engineering standards. Yes, the quality of your outputs must have that, must meet the required standards.
So those are your ethics.
So yes, then you need to also associate with your fellow professionals, so that you can always add to your knowledge. You have people who are, you should have like mentors too. Yes. So like me now, I have some mentees, that I brought up over the years. So like even now, if I have any request for design, I'll just send it to them. Go and do this, because I will see check what they have done, because over the years I've tried to train them.
You already know what you want.
Yes, they know the standard. Yes. And today they are very happy that they can stand on their own. Yes. So it is important as an engineer to keep to the professional ethics and standards, and ensure that whatever you are doing, you try to maintain that excellence. So the spirit of excellence is very important, that whatever you are doing. And this has helped me, and by the grace of God, in 2023-2024, I won the best engineer in the Akure branch of Nigeria Center of Engineers.
Okay.
Yes. I won that award. So even when I was working with Engr, I also won an outstanding performance award based on the quality of projects I handled for Engr. So it is very important that we are consistent, whatever you are doing, and continue to improve.
One should not be stagnant.
Yes.
Continuous improvement, updating yourself. So if I may ask you now, on the lighter note, when you're not doing anything in engineering, and you're not working, what do you do?
When I'm not doing anything engineering,
Yes.
Once a while I play table tennis. Okay. As well, I was an undergraduate student. I represented my university. I studied abroad, but I was part of many tournaments. I won gold medals and other medals. Then, apart from that, I'm involved in spiritual activities. At Grace of God, I'm a pastor. So, the Redeemed Christian Church of God. So, I also create time with my family. Go out once a while to do that. So it is very important. It's, apart from your career, one should also socialize. There are some functions too. Yes.
Oh, amen.
It's part of life.
It's part of life.
Yes.
So, sir, if we were to meet an inventor now or a professional, who would you like to meet and why?
Yes, I would love if I to meet somebody who has really touched humanity as of technology and development. I would love to meet Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton, because the meeting laws of motion has really affected on development we see today. So the backbone of engineering. So that's the person I love to meet.
Yes. Now, dear viewers at home, before we run up, sir, there is this question I want to ask you about. I was not 2 months or 3 months ago, there was this solar project that was assigned to Federal University of Technology. Yeah. And you talk about it and share with the viewers at home what is the capacity, what is it intended for, and how is it going to impact the university community.
So thank you. The project is called Nigerian Education Project.
Nigerian
Education Project. So it is expected that the universities, some universities in Nigeria will be free of the off-grid, of the national grid, so that the power will be made available to the citizens. So the one they are saving. So the federal government of Nigeria initiated the project, and it's being funded by the AFDB, African Development Bank. So the project design and the project design started for quite some time, maybe 7 years ago. So there have been different types of investigations for design stage, but the implementation started last year. The project has advanced, so maybe about 80% completion. So it is expected that before the end of this year, that the solar power plants will begin to be in operation, and it's a 4.5 MVA, MVA solar power station going to supply solar energy to the university, and with that, the university is going to be more efficient. When I talk of God, there are some researches that are carried out in the university that have to be maybe 72 hours. And if there is a power outage, it will affect the results. So with that, I believe the university is going to benefit a lot. So I want to appreciate the federal government for the initiative. There has been phase one of the projects were implemented in all the first generation universities like University of Lagos, Engr. So phase 2 involves some other universities like University of Abuja, that their project has been commissioned earlier this year by the
Same capacity.
No, different capacity.
Based on the
yes. So the energy of this have been carried before the design. So they will assess the consumption of energy in the university, and then there will be some projection too. So FUTA is in phase 3. I think there are about 8 universities, University of Port Harcourt, Federal University of Lokoja, some other universities too. So FUTA is in phase 3, the southwest of Nigeria. So
that's a big kudos to the DC.
So
And your directorate.
thank God for that.
And I hope when the time comes out, we'll be allowed to do a documentary about it.
Yes, we have received the Nigerian Society of Engineers,
Okay.
Akure branch. They were at the solar plant station about 2 months ago. Then Nigeria Institution of Electrical Engineers, yes, they were also at the site. So to look at what is being done there. So when you are ready, you link you with the contractor. But the good thing is that the project is fully funded by the federal government. So and the contractor will operate it for 1 year. But within this 1 year, the university staff will also be involved in the running of the plant. So at the solar power plants, we have a work training center there. That's a training center. Then we still have the control units, control room. There, then they have power stations. Yes, so the training is still part of the project. So that the university staff will be trained. Even students, some students are currently involved to understudy the project. Some STEM female students. So plenty of them are involved, and they still have some IT students too with them. So that the technology can be transferred to our students, so that in the future some of them want to undertake that area of specialization, solar
power system.
Yes, solar power system to be their career in the future. So after the 1 year of running the plant, then the university will now continue to run the plant. So that it's fully owned by the university.
That's good. At least you know the slave by BDC again.
Yes.
For those astronomers,
It's an hybrid plant. We also see have a generator there.
In case when the
like during rainy season,
when the sun solar power,
when the battery cannot store sufficient energy, so the system is such that the generator will just start automatically
and power the batteries.
Yes. Then I see the BEDC line too. It's part of the standby also.
Okay, that's the hybrid.
Yes.
BEDC.
So that generator
and generator.
So that to ensure that 24 hours.
You're online.
Yeah. We have power supply.
That's a good one. Dear viewers at home, you have heard from Engineer Boyinbode Oladeji. And before we round up the program, we have a culture. And what is our culture? The culture is to give gifts to our guests for finding time to converse with us. And what is the gift? It is a clutch pencil. We all started engineering from secondary school, our technical drawing, by using pencil, and then we graduated into when I was growing up, there was no AutoCAD. It was It was Tiske and your team. So, sir, I want to give you this as a token of appreciation for allowing us at your time, out of your busy schedule, this short interview. We are very grateful, and we pray that next time when we call upon you, you will grant us the same time.
Thank you very much. God bless you. I appreciate you for your time also and for identifying me as one of your guests. So I pray that this your endeavor will continue to grow from glory to glory. So thank you. God bless you.
So dear viewers at home, you have heard from Engineer Boyinbode, a fellow of the Nigerian Center of Excellence and the present director of physical planning, FUTA. Thank you for your time. See you again.
Are you